very short time because I feel some headache. I don't know why. And therefore, I'm being very brief and short. Of course, my focus is on today. Our president was in Siaya, right? Siaya, the very destination of ODM Linda Mwananchi Orengo's platform. All right. So, of course, you've realized that the president has decided to camp in Nyanza to prove some point, of course. And whoever says that shares don't work in Kenya, they do. Since the last time Baba actually collaborated with RUTO, he has been camping in Nyanza. And even after his death, everything goes on. Now, guys, there are statements people say, whether it was intentional or not, and they come to be misused. So I saw a statement that is commonly being posted on platforms when Rigiji said that Ruto had actually clapped his chest, and then the Baba died, and then luckily ODM fell apart. That statement has been picked by so many people, and currently I think it's working against Rigiji. I don't know how it'll work against this, but I don't know. This is politics. Politics is a problem. And when I was listening today to Dorcas, I just thought people should have asked why she is unable to work against the aspect of ethnicity that really comes out in Rigiji's statements, because he may think that he's not being ethnical, but many people interpret his speeches or sentiments as such. And in some parts, it looks like he's celebrating something. You know, remember, he never went for the funeral of Baba. And even after his burial, he never went there, regardless of insinuation that he will do. So what's up? Because people will be really turning that round. Even though currently the floods happening in Nairobi have again become a political thing, people trying to say that actually we are supposed to blame Sakaja, we are supposed to blame the president for whatever is ailing Nairobi. I don't know. The drainage system, I think, is a political mess that happened since the times of Kenyatta himself, the first president. When people began constructing houses in Nairobi, they never actually considered the part of sewerage disposal and drainage. And that is why when you look around Nairobi and you go to every estate, I've lived in Nairobi, and I didn't live in high-end estates, but I lived in Kayola, I lived in Githurai, I lived in Kitengela, and I was able to relate with people from high-end places like, let's say, Donholm. I was able to interact with those who actually came from high-rise and this estate when you are getting to Kileleshwa, you know. And of course, the drainage is not as proper as such. So houses are constructed every day, but no one cares about the disposal. And it has been a problem in Nairobi, actually, with land grabbing. I think this is a whole saga of The Samaritan by John Lara. So we have this mayor of the town, Mayor Mosi, we have Basdeo, we have Ted, we have Ramdai, and we have Seima. So those who approve actually construction without checking on the safety of the citizens. We have those who actually receive dollars and grab land then sell to numerous people with fake titles. We have those who watch over the city being destroyed. And of course, currently, of course, is the governor, right? Now, the blame on Sakaja comes at the moment when we have reached the peak of problems. And maybe he may say that he's not supposed to be blamed for that. But as a leader, I was talking about something before the bundles decided to. So I'm telling you, the economy currently, it's eating into our pockets in every corner. Talk of supermarkets, houses, and whatever. So as a leader, I don't think a good excuse is to say others were there. What did they do? You do whatever you do. Let people say that at least during your time this happened. I normally don't like when leaders say, when so and so was there, what did they do? It's not about them. It's now about you. Currently, you are on the reign. What are you doing about your country? Don't remind us about the past. They were there, they actually got out. Now you are there. Tell us what you will do. Don't tell us about what others didn't do. That doesn't make you a leader. Anyway, now let's get to Siaya. The president was in Siaya, and he seemed to be very much infuriated about the comments people have been making about his donations in church. And I don't know why he sounds like a monotonous guitar, because if something has been said earlier, people have been complaining. You should just stop justifying. Why are you struggling so much, using a lot of energy to explain? But anyway, it's the nature of human beings. Let me not blame him. Maybe I do the same at the same point, but let's play this video. Let's play this.
Every leader, every person will be judged by their track record and their agenda for the transformation of our nation. So, those who use political platforms to insult others, to call others names, to drive wedges between people, to divide people, they will be in for a very rude shock. Because the people of Kenya have known now that it is possible to transform this nation. The people of Kenya have come to appreciate that what a leader promises, what we promised, what we have delivered, and what we stand for going forward as a people and as a nation. And therefore, I want to encourage you that don't be too bothered about the noise makers. Ndio Waswahili wakasema debe tupu haliachi kutika. You know, the noise and the noisemakers.
All right, guys. So the president currently came out with sentiments about the noisemakers. You understand what that means, right? Every now and then people critique or rather talk about the failures of the current leader, and they are not in leadership. The leaders say they are noisemakers. Is that real? I don't know whether it's me experiencing this, but the economy is quite bad. Now, let's understand what's causing this. Is it the current regime? Are they stealing so much? Is the economy just bad because of situations around? I'm trying to raise every day because business has become tough, things are not easy, and we are really finding it hard to survive. So, leaders, please save us from this hail. Do not just talk and talk, because the track record we want to see is the change in our lives. You know, even the planting season has come, but as the rains actually fall every day, how many farmers are ready to plant? I doubt there are many. And disasters are becoming a daily meal for people. Floods are coming, and we have so many other disasters. You know, illnesses are also common now, because generally, even mentally, we are not okay. When it comes to body-wise, we are not okay. We are exhausted every day. Our money is getting thin and thin because of the experiences we are having. And so, we want leaders to give us solutions, not just sentiments. But anyway, let's listen more.
It is because they do not have the content. They do not have what it takes. They do not have the plan. They do not have the roadmap. They do not have the agenda for taking our country forward. That is why they are engaged in insults, name-calling, noise, and other retrogressive things. Bishop, as you pray for our nation, as you look at us, there is a world of a difference between the men and the women who have a plan, who have an agenda for our nation, and the people who are insulting others. You will hear many names out there. You will hear a lot of noise out there. But as a nation, we should never be distracted. We should never be distracted. We have demonstrated to this nation that it is possible for leaders to lead and to deliver on the commitments they have made. When I came here in Bondo, I promised the people of this county that the politics of exclusion that have been part and parcel.
All right, guys. So, of course, RUTO feels that he has eliminated the politics of exclusion. But then, do we have other places which feel they are excluded? Maybe just check on that across the nation. Do you think there are places which feel they are still excluded in terms of development? Of course, western part of Kenya, at some point, they began to say that so many projects are being taken to Nyanza, but none is considered for them. How true is this? We should get to interpret this deeper. Now, of course, the RUTO regime, or rather RUTO, donated around 20 million in Siaya after actually being asked to conduct an urgent Harambee. Now, you realize that as much as that is being paid, we have teachers who conducted a simple exercise of marking at NEC. And currently, we've heard that NEC is insolvent. The president should step up and do something, because these teachers are people who are less paid. Among the less paid in the country are teachers. They do a lot, they sacrifice. Sometimes their agents are too much on their toes. And that's why currently a lot of teachers have mental issues. They have mental issues because the place of work is not comfortable. The economy is not comfortable. Their social life is not comfortable. So everything is uncomfortable, right? Yeah. Now, can he step up and do something for the teachers who did marking of exams, the invigilators, the center managers? He can do something, of course. He can call upon his friends. He has so many, if he wills. But is he willing? Once the president called the teacher watu wa a e i o. So I doubt he can do anything. But anyway, let's forge ahead and look at the death toll in Nairobi. Of course, I did a reaction recently on my Edutainment for Us channel and indicated that even though the government was saying there are just 10 people are dead, there are more. Now, currently, the death toll has reached 43. Let's follow the news and see what is happening before we get to see DORCAS.
Now, the death toll from the devastating floods that struck on Friday evening has risen to 43 as heavy rains continue to cause widespread destruction across several parts of the country.
Homes have been destroyed, farms submerged, and key infrastructure damaged, leaving many families homeless and struggling to cope with the aftermath.
That's right. Our very own Citizen TV's Ben Kirui takes a look at the aftermath of Friday's floodwaters. Take a listen.
The scale of destruction left in the wake of the Friday evening floods is becoming clearer with each passing day. Across at least 16 counties, families are counting losses worth millions of shillings after raging flood water swept away homes, farms and roads. At Grogan garages in Nairobi, more than 30 vehicles have remained stranded since Friday after flood waters overwhelmed the underground parking areas. Vehicle owners have been forced to tow out the cars as mechanics begin the process of assessing the damage, repairing engines and replacing ruined parts.
Mingi zinatolewa leo. Tayari zingine zimevutwa na breakdown na zingine bado zimekwama ndani.
Kwa gharama ya magari, wenye magari tunawapea pole. Pia tunapea wenye wamepiga magari rangi, tunaweza waomba wasitubebe kwa ubaya juu ni mambo ya Mungu.
Kama gari yangu ni kama 60,000 imepotea. Juu lazima nirudie rangi, inji naye siwezi ongea juu yake, na inji ni 80,000.
In Azina Estate in South B, hundreds of residents were left homeless after flash floods swept through the neighborhood, destroying houses and washing away property.
Vitu zimeenda na maji, mattress nimezianika, sijui hata kazi takauka. Sasa ni kuomba mali ya kulala, na kuna watu wanakunyima, so mimi naomba tusaidiwe. Nguo za mtoto, Kama mtu anaweza jitolea pia nilete nguo, mtoto wangu ni wa wiki, hata nimemzaa juzi, bado naumwa. Kama mtu anaweza jitolea anaweza nisaidia sana.
A similar situation is witnessed in Kinoo, where many families are unable to access their homes that remain completely submerged in water. More than 5 churches and several schools in the area have also been affected.
And every year we have a perennial issue of flooding in this area, particularly here near this supermarket. The issue is that we had area that the channels for the runoff that were built, but they are very narrow, and we have been appealing to the county government through our church leaders.
Naomba tu usaidizi kutoka kwenu, kwa sababu hata saa hii nimeingia kwa huyo friend yangu, miguu mpaka inauma, usiku hata sikulala, nimejikuna kwa sababu hiyo maji imeingia mpaka na sewage, imeingia na machoo, imeflood kila kitu. Na ulisa wale tulichagua wako wapi watusaidie?
According to government figures, 42 people have lost their lives in the floods, with 16 counties affected. More than 10,000 households have been impacted, while 4,845 people have been displaced and forced to seek shelter in safer areas. Many families here in Azina village in South B are still grappling with the devastation of the Friday's flood waters, trying to salvage little of what was left of their belongings, while remaining uncertain of where to spend in the coming days and nights. Then Kirui, Citizen TV.
Right. On that note, couch today in the house is the governor of county number 047. Yes, good to see you, Gov.
Good to see you.
Thanks so much for your time. I know you've been busy running around up and down.
Yeah.
Polisana for what's been going on.
But more so to those who've lost loved ones and property. It's a really sad situation, tough situation. I think pole kwa zaidi.
Yeah. Gov, in your county, do you feel a sense of responsibility for what you just talked about? The loss of life, the loss of property. Do you feel a sense of responsibility?
Of course, Jeff. In as much as a lot of this goes into decades of issues of planning, the city really was built on a swamp, but I'm the one who's in charge now.
Yeah.
And in as much as the many of these roads, waterways are not even under the county government, which is why we've now come together with the national government and said, look, let's solve this. Let's not just point blame. Let's get the professionals who we have, engineers, planners, the architects, etc., to say, look, what is a lasting solution? Of course, what we costed last year was too much for the county. 25 billion. When you're running a 40 billion budget, salaries and all that, the county cannot do it on its own.
Yeah.
And that's why we need more resources. And I'm glad that now we are moving towards that. If you look at the
Alright guys, so Sakaja came into Citizen and he indicates that there is need for more money for this problem to be solved. At first he had said that he shouldn't be blamed because he didn't build Nairobi himself. He found it as it is. But anyway, we'll be getting deeper to that. But meanwhile, let's look at Pastor Dorcas, and she shared much about what needs to be done for the boy, a child. And she indicated how much she has done on charity. So we'll briefly look at it, not everything, briefly look at it, and then we come back to Sakaja.
And to the mosque. Why? Because that is where they can be understood. But if we were to say the house of God is for the holy people, then what are we saying? If it is for the righteous, then we close them. Because the righteous are already going to heaven. We need the people who need to come and start to understand the difference between what God wants and what they are doing. Okay. Even you, when you are Christian and you go to politics, would you want us to come and chase you away now that you have entered politics? The other thing is you need a place where you can be invited. In fact, church should be a place where every sinner comes, where a prostitute comes and is transformed and he is loved, where a drunk enters and they are treated the same. That is what religion is all about. Okay. But the religious for the righteous, that one, I think it is another level, and maybe you need to discuss. The altar cannot be discredited by a person who comes. Actually, it is the opposite. When a bad person comes to the altar has a way of changing them.
Okay.
seen some who the altar is struggling to change. Now, let's go to this story for when you left the banking. Then you started now the ministry part. Then you said you started some biasharas. That is where we are, the jumbo seats. That is where we are before the microphone started. Yes.
Yeah, so I was making the seats out there, and my husband was working in still in government. So he would come, he would help me to remove the seats and go. He comes again in the evening. And then one day when I'm just sitting there, Mzungu comes, he was MD for Uchumi. And he came and said, I'd like to partner with you. And I was looking for the person he was talking about. Because we are having a few seats there, and we are making the Juakari one and all that.
Yeah.
And so he said, yes, we want to give you space in the supermarket where you come, you display these seats, and when share commission of 5%. I will not ask you for rent and everything.
Or they take 5%?
Yes.
Ah.
And that's how now the RUTO Furniture Month became big, and we were in all chumis and everything. And God helped me I say God is always on my side, because when now we were able to put them there, I didn't need to worry about the Kanjo coming to demolish my structures. They had done many times, but now they were in a safe place and would sell, and I was able to do my ministry.
Ah.
Yeah.
So viti zinajiuza huku?
Yeah.
Wewe unaendelea kupiga ministry huku?
Yes.
Oh, so umeuza viti, that's interesting.
Yeah.
For many years.
You tell me.
Umesema material ukiguza hivi umejua hii.
I will throw the fake and the real.
Leo unaenda kununua nafikiria.
POV, your brain is racing with ideas, but you're stuck thumb typing at 20 WPM. We've all been there, typing, deleting.
I can repair. There are some people I sold almost 20 years ago, and they still call. But I refer them to some of the people who worked for me, because I help them to start their own. Okay. And so we have like Farmat and all those ones. If you go there, you'll find the people who actually did the work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then this went on, business hapa kule nini. 2011, you ordained as a pastor.
2011, I was ordained as a pastor.
Yes.
I used to be from House of Grace. I started as a Nasha. I became an elder there. And one day, my bishop comes and tells me, why do you always refuse to answer the call of God? I said, which call? I'm okay with what I'm doing. He said, God has called you to ministry. And for you to be able to do all these things you do, the widows and everything, God has called you into real ministry. And that's how we became, I agreed. I had refused, actually. Oh. So he told me to go and ask my mom. My mom was alive then. And asked my mom, and I asked my husband and children, what do they think about it? Whatever answer they will give me, I'll know whether God has called me. So I went to my mom. When I told her what, she just fell down and started crying. Her problem was, she said, I've been praying that there be a priest in my house for many years. This is what I've been waiting for. If only I can die now, I'm okay. That I would leave somebody. Then I came, of course, to my husband and my children. They said, why would anybody? The church stole it from you, from us a long time ago. And that's how we went again, and I was ordained in 2011. And the rest is history.
Kuna picha tuko nayo, umevaa skati ya blue, nafanya crusade peke yako, muko wawili tu hapo, hiyo soko ni kama haina watu.
Why is that now?
You've not seen that picture? Ile inakuwa video umeweka tena, kuna kadile ikikuja na muonyesha.
I can remember maybe that one was placed in Joro. After I would attend to the widows, I would go to yes.
Hapo umesema neno na isoko yenyu mvua ni kama imenyesha.
No, watu wako pande ile ingine. Nafikiri huyu photographer hakunifanya justice. I'll look for him.
Huyu bishop mwenzako hapo kando yako pia ni kama anapepea ni kama anataka kwenda.
Huyu anafanya, nilikuwa nahubiri na Kiingereza na yeye anaongea Kikuyu.
Oh.
Yes.
Bwana Yesu, Jesus said, Yesu ni
Just go and
have you had some very amazing moments in the ministry that you remember that like, where this something unique happened or weird in the ministry?
Yeah.
There
are
one?
Quite a number. Escort my car from Gudima the house there. You are the answer to that thing. When I was driving on Uhuru Highway, many times from the very bottom where I was working, the very bottom house, the cop house, I would go through the Uhuru Highways. And I would see very many boys sleeping in the Uhuru Park. Others are hawking, others are there, others are messing. Yeah, of course, the boys have their own way. They can do a great mess. And they would come and one day I'm with my children and I'm coming from the work and everybody, whenever these boys would come, they would roll back the window. And you could see they were getting more angrier and more, they would go towards them with this stuff.
Yeah.
So one day I just decided to know what was this that was causing these young men to behave this way. So instead of rolling up the window, I rolled down. And he had that stuff. And he froze. Then I asked, what is wrong, my son?
Alikuwa amebeba?
Yes, kinyezi.
Nataka kukusalimia kidogo.
Sindio, alikuwa they scare people with it and of course because people were insulting them or they felt that people, they hated them. They would actually smear their cars and all that. So I put down and asked my son, what is the problem? He said, yes. He said, I'm hungry. And these people, when I come here, I want them to give me bread. They don't give me. They just roll up their windows. They think these cars, and you could hear the anger. You could feel it, They hated those people, and they thought, as with the cars, they were their problem and everything. So I said, what can I do for you? And fortunately, that day I was carrying bread I gave him. Let me tell you, from that day, they used to call me their mother. And they would escort my car from Gudima, the house there, going all the way to Nakoma, Jamaica, where it was. And that's where the Mama Boys didn't start the other day. And so I decided to start talking to them.
All right, guys. So, of course, we've had all the political aspects of the day. Not much, but a few of them. And I think 26 minutes is good to go. I appreciate all your support and presence on my channel. Keep doing it because I need that following. Bye-bye for now.